Greetings. What up, my beautiful, beautiful peoples? I'm back live with another transmission for my viewers, listeners, and supporters. Wait a minute, let me cut this song channel up. There we go. Positive energy, activate constant elevation. To my people, chill, sit back and relax, and allow your mind to be nurtured, cared for with beautiful information that is broadening our knowledge spectrum. And that's what I'm here for. The nature of my transmissions, is for the broadening of our minds. The broadening of our minds. To where we can receive intelligent information that I am willing to share from my experiences, what kind of light code transmissions I am receiving. Live from my pyramid. One of the meanings of a mirror or pyramid is, or the purpose of pyramids being constructed was that they was constructed to be storehouses of supreme wisdom of the Most High. In a language that you can understand, they are storehouses for the wisdom of God, or storehouses of the wisdom of Allah, or storehouses for the wisdom of El Elo, or storehouses of the wisdom of Al Kulun, Papa Ut, Patim Ta. In a language you can understand by whatever term for God that you may be conscious of from your level of understanding. Because mind you, a lot of the supreme wisdom that I'm building from is from our master teacher, right? And it's for a necessary reason, because us as a people, we are in need of serious need. We are in need of a serious mental makeover, pretty much, because we know that we have been under the influence of a lot of mind-altering teachings, in addition with mind-altering chemicals that cause us to be out of character or out of our minds. So the nature of this transmission here is to help the people that's looking at this transmission right now. It's to help encourage your curiosity into wanting to be in tune with a certain station that that we really should be on in this process of nation building. Now, a person may say, who do you think you are, John? You trying to drop science? You trying to drop knowledge? Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. Appealing to the intelligence of my people to start participating. If they not already participating and doing certain great works, to participate in the total transformation of us as a people in our process of nation building, baby. It's only right, for us to mentally develop into a certain mindset, right, that will enable us to grow up dealing with real world affairs. Now, of course, I'm going to guide the narrative of what I'm trying to convey, right, through some sound right reasoning, to where in the end, at the end of this video, you can say, you know what, that makes sense in terms of what John spoke about, the Nubian women. And I would like to listen to him more often, because I think the tones of his language has healing purposes for the viewers, listeners, and supporters. So click the like button, subscribe, share, so other people can be touched by these life-saving teachings and spell-breaking teachings to trigger enlightenment in our minds as a people. Now, mind you, of course, this is going to be enlightening. This is also deprogrammed enlightenment. For the sake of us, taking heed of this resourceful knowledge that is very profound, or that gets us to think in ways to where we can really straighten out our problems in all areas of our life. Now, for instance, I have changed my life for the better, right? I have came up out of the streets. Certain positive doors of opportunity have opened up for me in a way where I know the Creator is pulling certain strings for me from the spirit realm, where the strings that is being pulled is divinely protected strings, where things is working out in my life on my behalf. Like, for instance, the saying, take steps toward the Creator take multiple steps towards you, right? So in doing that, I have experienced the results to see that the Most High is real in my life, right? Now, mind you, we are connected with a universal mind. Everything we see is a manifestation of divine intellect of the Most High Creator or Creatress. Now, with that said, us as in a language where some of us can understand, for us, in terms of us, for us humans, right? A lot of us forgot the purity in which we was created in terms of the whole light energy of the Most High. To the point where we have got out of tune with who we are. We have got out of tune with where we should be. And we have got out of tune with what divine voice we should listen to. As a result of being victimized by the works of the evil one to lead a lot of people to the slaughter, who have indeed been slaughtered. Yet the evil forces that's at work want to continue to maintain a certain food source for them to continue to lead others to a particular slaughter. As a result of those who is led to the slaughter is a people who is a product of being lost souls, who can wake up before it's too late. So, for the viewers, listeners, and supporters, you know what I'm saying, who's listening to the tones of my voice, you know, I'm in a fight where every day I fight against the forces of evil as a righteous one in the earth. Right? So due to me developing the understanding that I am a light worker, don't get it twisted now. Sometimes you can be tempted to get tired of, you know what, let me just do what everybody else is doing instead of trying to go against the current, you know what I'm saying, the evil or the fleshly indulgences or fleshly appetites or fleshly surrenders. I'm actually disciplining myself to not feed the forces of that physical aspect of my being. You know the term, like when they say crucify the flesh from within your own self, as far as disciplining yourself to overcome certain appetites that we have, that the evil one, through what's called the devil's web, appeal to the sin nature in us for us to sin after sin, for us to commit sins after sins after sin and sin after sin. Right? To the point where that sinning feel good, to the point where you feel like sinning is the right thing to do. Because the evil one said I was going to make what's wrong look right and what's right look wrong, so where it don't feel good to do the right thing. Where they do that at? People is getting really conditioned through being tricked, thinking that it's cool to be pretty much disobedient to the original order of the universe that's rooted in doing right. Sadly mistaken. Doing right is where it's at. See, when you commit your ways to the Most High, you connect with certain frequency bands that merges you with goodness to where you divinely protected to do the right thing and be a same voice amongst darkness. Now, for instance, let's go to this reading material that's in our doctrine of right knowledge, right, where so many souls has been touched in a way where these souls is blossoming and blooming into the gods and goddesses that they truly are, right? To serve as examples, to encourage other brothers and sisters and lost souls to be like us, right? To where we are adjusting ourselves to be in proper position, to be a reflection of our true Kemetic roots and serve as a reflection to be true to our true nature and who we are as a people. Now, mind you, let's go to this particular questions and answers that's going to enhance our social IQ. Social IQ, in addition to enhancing our comprehension abilities, that's connected with our IQs, right? So may our IQs be more improved and our social IQ be improved to where we have good character and charisma socially, where we can have a positive effect on people the right way through this higher learning. Now, man, what is meant, this question being asked, what is meant by the phrase in tune or being in tune, or what time it really is for us to be in tune and be properly aligned, right? Properly aligned with the right energy forces that's going to serve us well. Okay, question. What is meant by the phrase in tune? The phrase in tune comes from metaphysics, which deals with the fact that Tamaray, that teach each being is actually a receiver having nerve fibers that produce an electrical impulse, and as such, the impulse must vibrate on a certain frequency in order to be able to receive that which is being broadcasted on a certain station. Now, mind you, this transmission of this video here is on a certain station. It may be a fact that it may serve as a fact that the people who listening to me right now with these certain tones and words that I am articulating, right, they have a understanding, or overstanding of what I'm saying, right? To where they get it. they catching, they comprehending what's going on with the level of intellect that I'm coming from on this station here. So it's they own the frequency, they own the station, right? Where y'all hearing me and y'all getting this, right? But yet, for the ones that's not on this station, I have to dumb down what I'm saying and start talking on levels like, hey, let me do something that sounds crazy and foolish and stupid to get your attention, and do something very clownish to where, let me make a silly TikTok video or something on a level to where I do something that look real crazy, that'll get attention and get 1 million views and 1 million likes. You know what I'm saying? Because the likes that I would get on that kind of level, I would do something that would be considered stupid, ignorant, foolish, but yet it may be funny and get 1 million views, because pretty much a lot of people who like and click on that kind of stuff is on them kind of silly levels. But let me make a video like this one that's talking about higher consciousness and higher learning. It wouldn't get that many views. Hopefully it will, because hopefully it turns out to be that a lot of people mentality is on these kind of levels now. Hopefully these kind of videos will get millions of views, because they deserve it, because that's where we're really supposed to be at as humanity, having dialogues and academic conversations about maturity, about the higher aspects of the functionings of our bodies, and about higher aspects about the capabilities of our bodies and what we can do mentally and physically, right? So the nature of this transmission is for us to be in tune with higher frequencies, where we connect with higher stations of information that is a reflection of our psychological and mental evolution. Now, this goes on to read, right? Thus, the angelic hosts who do exist are vibrating on a certain frequency, and in order for people to be able to perceive them, the human nervous system needs to be tuned in like a TV station or high-speed server or radio station. Now, the Christ consciousness. Now, the term Christ, right, come from the Kemetic term Karast. The Kemetic term Karast, right? The Karast consciousness that's coming from our Kemetic root identity terminologies, right, is also called within the mystery schools of Tamaray, ancient Africa, a universal consciousness from which many so-called New Age societies get their use of the same phrase. Right? Now, the world is advancing, or should I say, the planet, through the universal changes that's taking place, is advancing toward certain changes or evolutionary changes but are the people, right, being in tune and changing with these particular changing times, being tuned up, where we got to raise our vibrations from the negative bullshit, excuse my language, the negative BS out here, but y'all know how it is. You know what I'm saying? When you doing the knowledge, you know what I'm saying, you dropping science, you gonna, you know what I'm saying, you gonna say certain things to strike a chord. Because for far too long, you know what I'm saying, we've been fed BS, nonsense, straight up, messed up information, to the point where people have been playing with our heads out here. Ain't no more playing with our heads. Them days is over with certain forces is playing with our heads. We play with their heads now. Remember that term when we don't intend to play with y'all heads, but we mental giants. We done woke up through our true spiritual science. Now, what I mean by this, they can't play with our heads no more, because the joke's on y'all. See, when y'all was lying on us, talking about we was ignorant, feeble-minded people, due to natural nature intervening on our behalf through the high IQ of the Mujahid, right, to appeal to our intelligence that cause us to have genetic explosions of awareness, right, to where our intellectual capabilities dwarf other people's mindsets because of the universal orientation of the right knowledge that came to us from a 9 to the 9th power of 9 mind source, which is the combination of all existing gases that's connected with intelligences. That's the cause of 9 ether forces to exist, from subatomic God particles that we reflect as melanite people with the sun. Right? Now, we don't have the intentions to play with y'all minds. People have evil intentions to try to manipulate us in a way for their own personal gain, for financial purposes, or for some kind of self-aggrandizement, to try to, put others down, which is a source of their way of making themselves look superior or look good or better than you. Just being a disagreeable person who ain't got nothing else better to do with their time, but it just shows that they just been under the influence of mind-altering influences that got them out of character. See, the nature of this transmission, once again, is for us correcting ourselves, working on ourselves with the right knowledge that will enable us to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. You know what I'm saying? So, who want to change? Hearing this divine message, may we tap into activities that cause us to be about complete constructive change in our communities, or wherever we at on the planet, at home and abroad. This goes on to read, right? Once again, The Kharast consciousness is also called within the mystery schools of Tamaray, ancient Africa, a universal consciousness from which many so-called New Age societies get their use of the same phrase, right? Even further, we are taught that the universal consciousness, right? The universal consciousness, of which 9 ether forces are composed, first visits the minds of its progeny with the facts, precepts, concepts, formulas, rights, information, and outformation necessary to bring about liberation and self-governance. And then the minds of all others is also visited, especially since to every nation of people the guardians sent warners and guides by raising one from amongst them their own race and kind. Now, look at the uniqueness of how the divine warner who was sent to us is raising the mentally dead, who he affectionately refer to as mummies, because our people who are suffering what they call who have been under, who is under a deep sleep or hypnotic spell of amnesia, which is a spell that causes our people to be in a deep, forgetful state of mind. Like, notice how certain events in the society that have been taking place, where people have been committing unthinkable acts, right? One after another and after another, but yet a lot of us stay safe, where a lot of us have been safe where that stuff hasn't visited too close to home where we at. But yet, people in the society, right, forget about certain things that had just happened, to the point where it's as if certain things didn't even happen, but yet it did happen. But people soon forget, because that spell of amnesia, or being forgetful creatures or forgetful persons, to the point where people easily forget things, right? To the point where they don't even recall certain events. So like they be doing polls sometimes asking the American public, what happened such and such day, such and such day, such and such day? You know, what happened such and such day on this particular time? And the person that answer in an ignorant way, but they don't even know what they talking about. See, there is a term called, a particular being called Enoshites, or forgetful beings. There's certain stock of people who is very forgetful out here, to the point where the mind manipulators know human minds can be tricked. And you wonder why so many mind games going on out here by these certain beings who want to perpetuate certain chaos, because they think like, due to the chaos that's being created, certain people mentally ain't gonna be able to put two and two together and comprehend and work their way out of the chaos and confusion, where they live in a peaceful life in the midst of all this craziness. You know what I'm saying? But yet, supreme wisdom that we have as a civilizing people who have caught on. We back in tune with who we are. They can't pour that small time stuff on our minds, man. You know what I'm saying? Them days is done and over with. You know what I'm saying? We can play with y'all heads if we choose to. But ain't no more playing with our head. But really, doing that to people ain't what we about. But we know the nature of the devil is to do just that, cause confusion. So, in light of us having our psychic self-defense, it don't work on us. So, the enemy flees from us. You know what I'm saying? You know, so may the divine protection that we have make way for us to continue to be illuminated minds who is having a positive effect on the people, on the people's lives we come in contact with, you know, to as far as us being the salt of the earth. You know what I'm saying? We are the salt of the earth that hasn't lost our flavor. You know what I'm saying? So we are of some good use. You know, we are of good use. This transmission that y'all listening to right now is being made of good use. You know, through this communication. This is a communication, like I was saying. The pyramids, right, was constructed to also be storehouses of the supreme mathematics of the Creator's knowledge, for us to be learned in as beings of high civilization. Now, mind you, just follow me now. Just relax. Continue to stay with me now. This continues to read, right? Now, okay. Nine ether forces are composed. First, visits the minds of his progeny with the facts, precepts, concepts, formulas, rights, information, and affirmation necessary to bring about liberation and self-governance, and then the minds of all others is also visited, especially since to every nation of people the guardians sent warners and guides by raising one from amongst their own race, right? Race and kind. They have been sent warners. As such, just as we are writing this parchment, and those like it, specifically for the minds of you melanite children, right? That's who we are. We are melanite children called Nubians, Africans, Caribbean, Latino, Hispanics, Nubians, blacks or Negroes, etc. Now, we know, according to the sciences of Noble Drew Ali, when he was speaking on about us as black people, come out of the misnomer, the political tag name, black, Negro, color, or African American, and replace it with the ills and bays and Ali's on our names to identify us connected to a true nationality, language, and land that tie us into being what our free foremothers and forefathers were. But yet, for whatever reason, it seems in political circles too, a lot of our people haven't untangled ourselves out of these false citizenship identities to the point where we are to be real citizens here in America as indigenous people with indigenous rights, where we automatically a natural citizen of this land. So certain people want to maintain black people being in a position of being politically powerless, that a lot of our, like for instance, black men and black women haven't did their own work to uproot themselves out of certain false jurisdictions and false citizenship statuses in our country or in our neighborhoods. I guess this term called jurisprudence, which is the proper yardstick you use when it comes to what real law is supposed to be. Now, getting off into real law, that's dealing with what's called de jure government. But a lot of brothers and sisters have been under the influence of what's called color of law of society, that where it's certain laws being pushed on the people to where it look like law, but it isn't law. That's why they call it color of law. It look like law, but it's not law. That's connected to what's called a de facto government system. So in reality, the real government that we are of is a de jure government, which is the real law government. Okay, this goes on to read though, right? Now, there are members of the Hindu, Oriental, Pale and Red, Arab, and Caucasian race that are also working to raise up the consciousness level of members of their true, There are members of the Hindu, Oriental, and Pale and Red Arabs and Caucasian race that are also working to raise up the consciousness level of members of their race through their own writings and opinions, right? As things pertain to the mental development of their own kind. So what are we doing to enhance the mental development of our own people and our own kind? The difference, however, is that the members of each of these representative races fully accept their own authors as the authorities of their stories about themselves. And most members of our race do not view, for instance, the master teacher or our master teacher, right? Dr. Malachi York, or his scribes, student priests, student priestesses, lecturers, etc., with the same admiration consideration, dedication, and loyalty as members of other races view their own people's writings. Now here it is. Ooh, I'm about to go in tonight, baby. I'm about to go in. See, that right there is exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. Right? I'm not boasting. I ain't bragging. But I see this is what's need to be done. That's why my pedagogy or teaching style is designed in a way for us to glorify and big up our master teachers' writings. So I advise y'all, learn from me, do as I do, and do as I say. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to using this particular kind of idea to perpetuate the growth and development of where we need to be going as a people from this particular organized approach that other races would love to give credit where credit is due, because we're using our minds in a positive way, not only to improve our social IQs, but also in a way to improve race relations as well, because ignorance through that lunar cycle have been the order of the day. Now, in this solar cycle, you know what I'm saying, may we experience more refined social conduct and good etiquette toward one another. You know what I'm saying? That's about knowledge and intelligence. That's what we value on my station, on my look. For my viewers, listeners, and supporters, right? I glorify right knowledge. That's what I'm about in real life, right? There was a time, I ain't gonna even go there right now. I'm gonna stay on this plane of thoughts. Okay, let's continue to read, right? Now, it's a shame though. It is a shame that these, for real, I gotta say this, man. It's a lot of our people who call themselves in these political circles and stuff like that, man, that have the good intentions, that so-called have good intentions on leading us the right way as a people. They ain't nothing but liars, man. They ain't nothing but straight up suckers, man. That done went out like suckers. You know what I'm saying? Who wanna respect a people like, who wanna respect someone like that, man? You know what I'm saying? For a certain personal gain to perpetuate a 10%er mindset amongst us people who is in need of being liberated and to get connected to the resources of our government. Where the purpose of the government is to distribute and allocate resources to its people. But yet, when you socially compare how, like for instance, a lot of these other communities and how they live in certain zip codes and districts in comparison to where like black people be living in their zip codes and districts, it appears that they running off with all the goodies while we get, you know, our goodies that's on a certain level, but it ain't nowhere near in comparison to these other communities that got access to resources. You know what I'm saying? But this is changing though. We changing it. Natural nature is actually intervening where we are starting to get access to the riches that's supposed to be allocated and distributed to us a long time ago. We growing into the equality amongst, you know, the the rest of the human family, dealing with the wealth, dealing with the wealth level. We getting there, but it need to be at a more. It need to, speed up some more. You know what I'm saying? But this right here is very important. Why y'all ain't bigging up the master teacher's doctrine? Hating on who he is like them dummies. You know what I'm saying? Where he came to his own, but his own received him not. Some of y'all received him not because you know why? I guess it's in y'all DNA to be black devils who is just gonna fall to the wayside. That foolishness that y'all doing, man. Look, y'all ain't doing nothing but hurting yourselves and making yourselves look foolish. We ain't in that category. Keep that over there. You know what I'm saying? We about this here. We about proper growth and development and being a solution to our people, man. You know what I'm saying? We about being a solution to our people. Simple and plain as that. And being free from that negative slave mentality that a lot of y'all is in. That's not us. We into a positive, free mentality through being 9-9 qualified. Get into the doctrine so y'all can be transformed by the renewing of y'all mind and convert into the gods and goddesses that you are supposed to be. We there. We done made the changes. And we only get better with time. And we protecting our inner being, doing the necessary work in this physical form. Because we more than just physical beings. We truly is spiritual beings. God's having a human experience. So it's more to us that meets the eye. You know what I'm saying? So this is for y'all to just know that. This goes on to read, right? This along with the fact that when you complete reading the writings of authors and teachers of other races, right, or racial backgrounds, you are still mortal, slave and servant, meaning you as a dark black, brown, or beige skinned, woolly haired to wavy haired individual will never be accepted by the Hindu as being an avatar, a red or pale hair Muslim as being a Mahdi or Mujahid, a Caucasian Christian as being Christ, a so-called Jew as being the Mashiach, nor by a Buddhist as being the golden child or enlightened one, etc. No matter which of these religions or philosophies you adhere to or follow, none of them accept you as being the god or goddess that you are. Look, no matter which one of these religions or philosophies you adhere to or follow, none of them accept you as being the god or goddess that you are, except your own, right? Except your original way of life. Nuwabu. Yes. Or Wu Nuwabu, Wu Nuwab. Sabat. Wu Nuwabu. Nuwabu. Our true spiritual science. Now with that said, right? You are accepted as the original avatar, the original Mahdi, the original Karast, the original Al-Misah, right? Or the real golden one or enlightened ones. Because that's how we see ourselves within our own spiritual science. So when we be in these other so-called schools of thought by other races who is other than us, that's like still accepting a slave master teaching where they actually become subconsciously in your mind as the God. So when our people be in them other spiritual practices, really they be worshiping Caucasian people, Jewish people, Hindu people, or certain Asian people. That's not us. We are the natural. In our own image and likeness, we are the God. But yet, with that said, though, by them races being what's considered other races that come from us, really, we are they gods. But yet they practice what they practice. And they keep them secrets to themselves that they know we are the gods. The Neteru, the Neters, or Neterat. Know thyself. Our ancestors told us, look, know thyself. Oh yeah, we knowing ourselves forever, for the rest of eternity. Yeah, we tapping in. We done tapped in. We know ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Look, this ain't even scratching the surface what I'm talking about. That's why it's only necessary for us to go on and on and on, delving in our true spiritual science, you know, and keep irrigating our consciousness with the living waters of this divine message that is from on high. Like when the real Messiah was like, I am from above, you are from beneath. We coming from a superior teaching that is from above, while these other liars is from beneath. That's why we see through them. We see through. We see through y'all. Like I said, you can't play with our heads. This goes on to read. What is the universal consciousness of which you speak? Question. What is the universal consciousness of which you speak? The universal consciousness is the foundation of every atom or atom, which is in existence. Because every atom is constantly working to bring about more life. We about bringing about more life. We represent life, the Ankh, the key to eternal life, not genocidal elements or death and destruction. You know, we're about life. We're about adding days on to our life. We're about maximizing our longevity, you know, as starseeds and chosen ones, to add on days of our life, like the term in the Bible, like when it was saying about certain truthful information that's in the Bible about honor thy mother and thy father, that thy days may be long upon the earth land which the Most High Creator have given thee, have given us. So we in our right minds. We are what our forefathers were and are, making us the modern day manifesting Tamarayans, Kemites, Kemetic starseeds, and chosen ones. This goes on to read, right? Okay. Now, we working to bring about more life, right? For each of them, regardless of what elemental level they are on, are intelligent, yet incomplete within themselves, and as such are always seeking their counterpart that will allow them to become complete and show forth the purpose for which they were created. Like us as Nubian men and Nubian women, the black man and black woman, we complete each other. We complete each other. So separate from one another. Look, being separate from one another, as far as black men and black women, we are incomplete. So there's work for us to do to make us complete by being together and not being separated by the illusions of the multiculturalism that is lying to us. When we out here in this society, or say for instance, I want to say this too. Social media. Stop playing the people cheat. Y'all talking about censoring Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, or YouTube. For what? What you got to hide? When certain content creators speak about relevant topics that's rooted in truth, right? But yet, we have freedom of speech. Now mind you, we have freedom of speech, right? That means even though there's certain guidelines or whatever that asks, is this content suitable for children, right? Or not? And we say, yeah, it's suitable for children. Or if it ain't suitable for children, you know, it's just fit for adults. But yet, the children be watching adult content without parental advice and parental supervision. Now, with that said, right, people tend to get their information how they want to get it. Whether, certain people like it or not, or whether people do what they do on their own time, young and old, or middle age. My point is this is my real point though. How you gonna censor people when we have freedom of speech? Right? Now here it is. You wanna censor and mess with people's pages because of certain truth they bring that's based on facts. But you wanna take the stuff down unjustly. When we have freedom of speech, that make y'all very hypocritical. to where y'all infringing upon the rights of the people's freedom of speech. But wait a minute. You doing this in cyberspace right now. This is cyberspace, right? And there are cyber laws. Okay. But yet in cyberspace, still, in relation to here in real life that's outside of cyberspace, this right here, that's outside of cyberspace, still abide by laws as well in the real world. So here it is, we're in the real world. When we walk outside our homes, outside our doors, going on with the four windows of our day, right? We still have freedom of speech. And guess what? That can't be censored. But yet, since in reality our freedom of speech can't be censored out here, you want to censor our freedom of speech in cyberspace. That don't add up. See the math in that? See the logic in that? See the reasoning in that? Think about it. When I step outside my door and I see what I see, it's plain English reality. Dang, that's the truth of what's going on. But yet, what I'm supposed to do, put some blinders over my eyes so I don't see what society is doing? Society ain't censoring what they doing out there in the streets in the real world reality, in the real world that's going on. That ain't being censored. You know what I'm saying? So when I talk about it, you want to censor what's happening in the real time out here that's not being censored. Reality, what we seeing. But yet, when we talk about certain truth from things we experiencing in real life out here, that's not being censored in reality. It wasn't uncensored when we synced it. But yet when we come to cyberspace and talk about certain realities that's rooted in truth, you want to censor it. That goes to show you, man, how the matrix works. You know what I'm saying? So stop the nonsense. Like I told you, y'all can't play with our heads, man. We see through the games and we know better. So respect our freedom of speech in cyberspace. Respect our freedom of speech out here in the real world. Respect our freedom of speech in reality when we making our content for our viewers, listeners, and supporters. Now I want to continue to go on with this reading material. And in addition to with my line of reasoning, dealing with these topics that I'm enunciating with this through this transmission, okay? Now, remember the purity in which we is created in. Now, this precept, right, will bring you into the realization of the universal power of 9 ether, 6 ether, and ghosts, 3 ether, of which you are created, made, and grafted based on your genetic potency. And when you understand the relationship between the physical realm of you, the physical realm of existence, and the actual inner workings, the inside, like our inner being. Now, understand the relationship between the physical realm of existence and the actual inner workings of your very being. Exceptionally, the mental you is when you will have made the transition into the family of the Netaru and the Netarat, the Orishas. The Orishas. This goes on to read. This is because the inner workings of your being are the world of cause, while the physical realm of existence is the realm of effect. Thus, in order to change the effect, you must change the cause, right? So knowing what you are composed and made of will allow you to control any negative thoughts that may attempt to gain control of your being. Thereby, better results will occur, allowing for the growth and betterment of humanity. That is very important to elaborate on and master that reality of the law of cause and effect. See, the world outside of our inner spirit, right, is a result of effects or the external realities of what's going out here in the world are effects from the cause of what's been produced from within us, the people, or produced from within certain people who created that world to be, or who created a part of the world to be the way that it is. But generally speaking, like when you go into like scriptures, when they specifically talk about the world has been given into the hands of the wicked, and this is the devil's world. How did it become the devil's world? And how did it get into the hands of the wicked to such a degree where the world is the devil's world? Or to the degree where, how did it end up being given into the hands of the wicked? But yet, here we are, people who is spiritually working on ourselves righteously in a world that is the devil's world, and the world that has been given into the hands of the wicked. So for him to have an understanding, let him count the mark of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 603/6. See, we here on this planet to utilize our minds, to exercise our intelligence, and pass these tests on a day-to-day basis. That is being given by certain forces that just may be from the evil empire. You know what I'm saying? The witches, the warlocks, or sorcerers who propagate a ghost spell, right? Which is a doctrine casting spells on a day-to-day basis to entrap people's minds, to cause them to be tricked into thinking, oh man, I was made an offer, or they was made an offer that they didn't refuse, that caused them to sell their soul, right? Because they felt it was worth it, I guess. I can never grasp that kind of meaning, because ain't nothing in this world that will cause me to sell my soul, you know what I'm saying, for any reason at all, because I know deep down inside me I belong to the Most High, wholeheartedly, soul-wise, spiritually, physically, mentally, etherically. You know what I'm saying? On all agreeable levels. I'm divinely sealed and divinely protected by the Most High, natural nature, natural phenomena for all eternity. As a person thinks, so are they, right? Know thyself, like our ancestors said. Now, for the sake of enhancing our social IQ, right? I wanted to elaborate on the importance of us having an understanding of why the master teacher gave us our own flag for us to identify with as a sovereign nation of people, right? We got to put the pieces of the puzzle together and do this work. We got work to do. Well, out of all due respect for other races of the planet, you know what I'm saying? We are supposed to have friendships in all walks of life. Now, the master teacher, right, being the supreme grand master teacher and guide of the Nubian nation of Moors, right, simply, or the Washita tribe, am presenting to you the various flags, right, of nations which are acknowledged in our nation. Look, this is important. These flags are here for those who have come to be a part of this vast growing organization. All are welcome. Now, all are welcome. Whatever nation you are, all are welcome in right knowledge, right? And it's not about races. We just deal with facts and reality, factology versus certain theology too. Okay, now this goes on to say, right? Now, all are welcome. If you are a member of the United Nubian Nation of Moors, right? If your flag is not inclusive amongst the others there that are flying, inform our office for your nation's flag to be added, right? Now, for example, right, every nation's flag that are flying within the United Nubian Nation of Moors are being flown in honor and respect to their birthplace. Their commitments to the United Nubian Nation of Moors and our practices and universal nationality. We acknowledge each nation as a part of our family because we are all of the same descent, which defines your existence of being children of God. according to their three monotheistic religions. However, at the same time, we respect them as their own independent nations. And in doing so, we raise the flag on June 26th of each year, right? Listen to the concepts, listen to the line of reasoning of where this is going. We want each and every one of you to feel you have a place amongst the Nubian nation of Moors, regardless of your race. All races are welcome. See, in this doctrine of right knowledge, it really is supreme over all doctrines of the planet. And we know how to put things in its proper perspective for the betterment of humanity, for the permutation of the human species. This is about total transformation of people's minds as far as us getting built up through being led into all truth through the opening of the seventh seal, through the great warring angel, right, who is winning, right, in this battle of the sky. The battle of the sky represents the battle of the mind. This is a battle of the minds, where the God seed will be victorious. Because look, how can anyone other than the Creator, right, be smarter than the Creator itself, or himself, or herself? What fools these mortals be. See, the science of the geometric shapes and divine intelligent design through the God particle that's rooted in dark matter consciousness of 9 ether forces. It's supreme. It's supreme. So to stay on track with the etiquette of the flags though, right? We want each and every one of you to feel you have a place amongst us regardless of your race. All counted organizations which are presented within, oh child, I know that sound. I'm gonna start that over there. Cause we building real good. The guys the God's bill. Much love to the goddesses and the queens, the beautiful queens, the goddesses. Yo, matter of fact, I'm finna bust some rhymes right now. Oh, my album coming out too, y'all. Yo, the branch of philosophy. Matter of fact, let me spit a 16 right quick for y'all. There's more to me than me, so we're gonna resume this transmission because I got a few more minutes left. But my lyrical content be on these kind of joints, right? I say stuff like this. Universal intelligence reflect Nubian greatness. Classic wordplay for my thoughts, divine messages. My solar conductor making me a live wire. Temples of the Most High, serving spiritual amplifiers. Comedic pedagogy, genetics extravagant. Surviving the mean streets of Detroit is heaven sent. I see from angles that you don't know, cause I'm the gatekeeper. I'm a boss in this game, a winner just beat you. Look, my niggas, the world is multi-dimensional, checkmate. I'm getting my money to the pinnacle. and Europe that's African history repositories. Knights Templars guard many secrets of our true stories. My rhymes timeless, like hieroglyphics made to reach us. The Melanite people or the sun, true caliphs. I breathe life into the planet. I'm bigger than what you think of me. Do your research and find out that we are deities with sovereign power. I'm known to stick to my guns and be a trillionaire, stacking up on my ones. Indigenous star seeds of the earth's continents, psychological well-being of my mind's cognizant of material rich lands we feed off. God created. The devil stay busy trying to destroy what's sacred. The gods build, the netter shield, netter rule is here, baby, in the flesh, with the supreme wisdom bloodlines of our creator. You know what I'm saying? Much love to the great goddess. You know what I'm saying? The God. More power to us, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, for the sake of enhancing our social IQ, dealing with the importance of having knowledge of the flag etiquette with respect to nations, right? This goes on to read. Okay, all counted organizations which are presented within the Holy Tabernacle Ministries and our other little corporations are allowed to maintain their beliefs with the country and still belong to the Holy Tabernacle Ministries. In other words, you can also be a part of any religious organization and still be a part of the United Nubian Nation of Moors. In this pamphlet, you will find flags and prove the various nationalities that originated from the Moors. And in knowing our story, the true story, you will regain knowledge of your nationality as Moors. I want to begin by explaining exactly what a flag is. Now, a flag is a piece of fabric designed with symbols and colors that signifies the nationality of a nation. We have to get this now. The earliest recollection of the use of flags date back many thousands of years and was used by the ancient Ptahaites, Egyptians. If you don't believe me, check it out. Flags, right, can take on various meanings such as challenges, honor, hope and loyalty, etc. They can also be used as a means of transferring messages from one group to another group. Flags are usually made with a cloth-like material so the flag could wave easily in the wind and not hang down stiffly without being displayed. Every person should know how to treat their national flag. It is a symbol of your nation. Therefore, it should be handled with care and love. Right? Respect, care, and love. It should be handled with love, respect, and care. Flags can be flown on a daily basis or flown exclusively on special occasions. Always respect the flag. get your own flag of the United Nubian Nation of Moors, or any flag of our nation that represent us as a people. As far as us having flag etiquette about flags in which they represent, right? You get your flag, passport, and nationality papers today, right? Now, in my conclusion regarding the flags, now, a lot of flags that we welcome like this, also the concept of like how we welcome flags, right? We welcome that, people of all races. As I think about this, the United Nations, they on the same page. So why don't we hear other races talking to us on these kind of levels? It always seemed like in a struggle for freedom, or representing a struggle, or what have you, right? We always be the ones highlighting certain points of views that be so relevant to just clean up the mess that people done made. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that other races ain't participating in cleaning up certain messes that is, socially kind of got stuff messed up out here. People out here is doing great works, and a lot of people, little do y'all know, they know who the master teacher is, and they giving credit where credit is due. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we know that still major forces who is of the evil ones who want to suppress this particular light that's starting to dominate the planet. You know what I'm saying? So, to further this transmission, let me finish this up though, regarding the flags, right? According to the New Book of Knowledge, Encyclopedia, Volume F, page 244, referring to the American flag, right? The American flag, right? When displayed with flags of other countries, the United States flag is flown on the observer's left. Other flags alphabetically all must fly at the same height, right? With respect to the American flag, right? Respect the American flag regardless of what religious nation or community flag you may be flying, right? When the American flag is flown with other states, cities, and organizations, or with historical flags, the American flag should be flown to the left, as it states in the above law, the law of flags. In case of multiple flags, the American flag should be in the center and raised above the rest of the flags. Purchasing a book on respect of the American flag would be beneficial to all of us, right? The flag of the United States of America should always be respected because of the mere fact that we are residing in America. I was born here. Of course, I'm gonna have that particular kind of attitude toward the American flag as far as having flag etiquette. The flag of the United States of America should always be respected because of the mere fact that we are residing in America. We should respect the country as well. We, as the United Nuwabians, nation of Moors, are living under the flag of America, and you should not spit on the American flag, drop it, burn it, or make clothes from it, or make rugs from it, or disrespect it in any way, form, or fashion. We will not tolerate it in the Nuwabian nation of Moors as Washita Native Americans. In the upcoming years, the list of flags in our Nuwabian nation of Moors will increase. We welcome the human family. We fund the permutation of the human species. So we add on to our knowledge in the most positive form. We build that way and destroy the negativity that may try to exist in our cipher. And our cipher is a circle that represents 360 degrees of physical knowledge and 360 degrees of spiritual knowledge. Wisdom and understanding representing 720 degrees. The God's bill. I salute y'all, my viewers, listeners, and supporters. And may all my transmissions have a positive impact on our minds, hearts, and souls, you know, and goodwill to all of us. You know what I'm saying? Because in this divine existence, one day at a time, may we tap into our potential. Peace and love, and much ashu. I love my peoples, you know what I'm saying? Much ashu.